Okay, I'm in the village. Just did some painting. See this new addition. If you guys haven't been here in a month or so, this is pretty much new. New addition to what we call the Monster. Here we have the Yorktown, and I kind of bypassed one of the smaller ones, the Mousetrap. All of these are multi-level. The Yorktown and the one I'm standing in, known as the ramp, are the two highest, essentially, partly because of elevation on this one. Once again, if you haven't been here, painted the ramp, put some more braces in this level right here. Noticed one was starting to crack, so put another brace in there, put another piece of OSB board down. One minor detail you notice, I put a piece of OSB board right here. It used to be this open crack right here, extended all the way to there so people could shoot you under there. And I was actually somewhat concerned someone would manage to fall out of there or get creative and try to jump down and break a leg. You almost have to allow for people's stupidity when you're doing something like this. So I'm going to get down here and show you a little bit more. One of the things about any of these forts is we'll try to create a lot of angles to where people will almost be barrel to barrel. A lot of places don't want to get you so close. They want you to shoot 20, 25 feet away. We allow you to shoot 300 feet per second and get barrel tip to barrel tip. We do appreciate it when people, when possible, offer to let someone surrender or barrel tap someone, which means you are out if someone touches you with the end of their barrel. However, I know I don't like to surrender, and a lot of our players here don't, so if there's ever any question, when in doubt, shoot. And we tend not to have a real big problem with that. Everybody that plays here is pretty good. Obviously, we try to protect people as best we can. Once again, some additions to the Yorktown. Mainly just a lot of dividers. Before, you could run up in here. If there's anyone up in here, like this crack right here, you could essentially come on the ramp to the Yorktown and just shoot in that crack and just light everybody up. So what it did is added a lot of dividers. It's actually adds some more support to this top part, painted everything, or just about everything. This open spot here was concerning me. I was worried someone's going to back into it and fall down there. I actually put a ladder in there, added a support, but it also keeps someone from, you have to get a little more creative to try to fall through there. Of course, I never want to underestimate someone's stupidity, but it makes it a little harder. You can see our swimmer dummy here in the back. Once again, you can stand up here. One of the neat things about this is traditionally when you're defending the Yorktown, you have to worry about this uphill side, someone coming from there and just raining a lot of paint down on you. So now what you can do is you can get behind here and you can kind of have a one-sided, two-sided battle where you can cover this area right here and your back. You got about 8 foot of coverage there. Also added right here to this top section, another piece of OSB board, painted it as best I could by myself. And once again, if you're up in there, you're not feeling so much like a target. You can move around a little bit. Still, if someone gets this angle on you from down the bottom, you're going to have a little bit of trouble, but it still makes it much more difficult on the attackers. And one of the things we want to avoid seeing people do is seeing people carry around pieces of OSB board or pallets and throwing them in different spots of a fort because they need protection. So you can see, painted this ramp here. Rename this area Graffiti Village because, yeah, it's kind of a hodgepodge of different cans of paint. I didn't have too much luck mixing them to form one color, so I just decided to put in one can at a time. Because of the type of paint I bought, it wasn't necessarily the highest. It's old paint, essentially. I got $2 a can, which is great, but some of the cans I had to throw out. So if you mix 5 cans together and one it has some clumps in it you didn't see, you got to throw out 5 cans of paint. So that's for the reason for, actually in here is where I had a whole can of paint I had to dump out, and it's still not even quite dry yet. This is just the ramp fort. Not much has changed in this one. Gonna go down here. Actually, very popular fort. Whenever anyone defends the village, there's almost always someone in the top or the bottom, maybe both. Those of you guys that remember the Monster, was the first, or I should say second, but the first real aerial fort we ever built. You've got a bottom level right here, which is used to be almost useless because they're even coming from the back side. You had no coverage. Now you've got this piece of OSB board, but you've also got this entire upper section, second level section covering this. So it probably won't get used a whole lot. So far when we played, it hasn't gotten used a ton, but we're hoping that now that we've added a little bit more protection, that's another place that someone can be a little bit sneaky and get it in there. Even an attacker sometimes can crawl up here and see through those slits. We've already had some people crawl up to the outside and shoot someone on the inside by shooting through a slit. So once again, it kind of helps both the attackers and defenders, creates more angles. Second level, only about 3 foot off the ground, but once again, protected on the back side. So if you want to crawl up in there, going with the monster theme, you can actually see their wooden teeth for the monster. Once again, you got that kind of SWAT-like feel if you're defending. There are some cracks down at the bottom. We'll probably fill in with rocks, but you can get in a back section right here and wait for someone to come upon you, and it definitely gives the advantage to the defender. And that's what we're going for, where you have to come in and clear something out where it's not impossible to attack, but hopefully if you've played a lot of scenario paintball, a lot of woods ball, this is just a really neat concept field which challenges the attackers to be just hyper aggressive. So what we're going for here is hopefully to have like a 4-to-1 advantage of attackers versus defenders, or at least 3-to-1 depending on skill level and gun type. This is all like a lime puke green, other than this one red piece of OSB board. Once again, we made it connect to the old monster. You're actually stepping down 8 inches when you go into the old monster there. But once again, you don't have this ladder that you've got to climb up. Before, what was happening is people in the middle of a game were getting shot in this old section here, and they didn't want to come out because they had to climb down. A bunch of people shooting at them. I was always worried people were going to fall, so out of an abundance of caution, what we did was add this entire section on out of some wood that we had already purchased that was laying around going to rot, and then probably put it about another $300-400 into plywood and OSB board to make it happen. I think it was well worth it. Already in a couple weeks we played, it's really had some neat gameplay, and had a lot of people telling me this is one of their favorite spots. You can see that you have a lot of different angles. You can cover this whole front section. One of the problems with the monster was people were coming up and they were getting an angle, you know, they're about 30 yards out, but they were getting an angle like this right here, and they could cover almost every aspect of that hole. Well, now that we've created that next section, you can sit here and defend. You've got a piece of OSB board here, so you can defend uphill. If you lose your player in the ramp, or just forget someone to put someone in there, you can defend from this section on that uphill section. So neat for it. We like it. It's played really well. We hope you come out and join us. One thing I'll point out real quick here. We played this game the other day, and it's on our YouTube channel, but you'll see a bucket right there. We do a bucket game where we'll divide teams up evenly, and the defending team has 1 life, and the attacking team will have unlimited lives. They just have to, if they get out, go tag their original start point, come back, and all you got to do is shoot that bucket. Well, once they shoot the bucket, we're timing the game. We yell stop, let everybody reload, and we switch teams. And the team was defending now has to try to beat the other team's time. So the defenders are now attacking, attackers are now defending. A lot of fun. Just with paintball, I guess if you've never played before, one of the things that we try to do is mix up the game types so every game isn't just attack and defend with a flag in the same exact spot. Saw a swimmer dummy earlier. Sometimes we'll have to shoot the swimmer dummy, and you can put it anywhere inside the village. So instead of having the flag at the exact same spot every time, it's a little bit different.